Did you recently get a puppy or a dog and you're tired of your dog misbehaving? Well, I can help you teach your dog some basic obedience and easy tricks for them to learn, which will definitely relieve some stress off of you and help them learn, even if they're young or old. These methods can help any dog. My name is Emma Carezzi, and I recently got a golden retriever puppy, and using these methods has made his training relatively easy. It's helped him learn a lot and he picks up relatively fast. Um, these ticks, these tips will not work if you are overstimulated or irritated because you'll tend to take your anger out on your puppy. And especially if your dog is overstimulated, because especially young dogs tend to have small attention spans, and if you notice that they're becoming irritated or they're not listening, then you can always stop the training session and resume at a later time. To start, all you need is yourself, your dog, and some training treats. So I like to use the blue small training bites, and I use the chicken recipe because my puppy is on a chicken based food, and it's good to keep the same recipe so that their stomachs don't get irritated. Um, the rewarding method helps your dog associate the tricks with a reward, and it's a way of positive reinforcement and helps them understand that if they do something good that they will earn a reward, even though once they're trained you won't have to give them that reward every single time, but it will help them understand and listen to you better. We know that dogs will do anything for food or a treat, which is why this method works so well. Um, so today I will show you the basic tricks for your dog to learn, such as sit, paw, and lay down. You're gonna want to use the same word for every trick. So perhaps you're trying to train your dog to do sit on command. You're gonna want to use the word sit every single time you want your dog to do it, just so that it doesn't get confusing and that they don't get associate one trick for another one. Because if you try and switch the words over and over again, they're going to get a little bit confused. Of course, their brains don't operate the same way that ours do, so it's a good thing not to take your anger out on your dog if they're not listening. So first one, the easiest one, is sit. And I would show you my dog here, but he is a baby, so he probably would not cooperate. So I'm just going to show you some videos or photos of him doing it. So basically, you're just going to want to take one of these. They're really small so that you're not giving them too much at once. So basically, you're just going to want to stand in front of your dog, and they're looking up to you because you are the dominant one and you're the one that's going to be training them. So you're standing and you're going to want to use, you can either do this, the treat symbol where you have your hand like this, or you can, what I do is I use my hand and I flatten it like this in front of them, and I'll be like, sit, and they should sit, and if they do, you're going to want to reward them. Um, this is how they do it over and over again, it will help them understand that they will get a reward if they do what you want them to do. And sit is typically the easiest one. Most dogs pick up on it very fast. But if your dog doesn't, don't get discouraged because it does take a little bit of time. Every dog is different. Um, and another basic trick that I have taught my dog is paw. And it's really not useful if you're wanting your dog to obey you, but it is kind of a more fun trick for you to do. And it's basically like the same idea, but you're going to want to have your dog sit first, like we just did, and then you're going to want to put your hand out and say paw, And if they don't do it, they probably won't the first couple times that you try. You can always pick your dog's paw up so that they associate that motion that they're doing with their paw being in your hand. And once they do that, you'll reward them and keep doing that over and over again until they start to pick up on it. It is pretty easy.
Paw.
And then another one you could do is lay down, which is a little bit more complicated than paw and sit, but it's the same idea. You're going to have your treat and you're going to have him sit first, and then you're going to point to the ground. You can either say lay down or you can say down. And if they don't lay down, it's the same idea as the other ones. You can show them, like you could force him to lay down and give him a treat so that they associate the lay down with the motion of being down.
Sit. Lay down. Good boy.
So basically, it's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to insert some pictures and videos into this so that you can associate what I'm saying with the dog doing it, because it might be easier for you to visualize the tricks themselves. But again, not every dog is the same. These are just the easiest tricks that you could teach your puppy. All in all, it has been pretty easy to train my puppy because he listens very well, surprisingly, because he's only 5 months old. But it doesn't matter if your dog is 10 years old or a puppy or middle-aged. Any dog can learn as long as you have the patience and as long as they're willing to learn. And of course, if you have these, then any dog will listen to you, because I'm pretty sure most dogs are oriented around food, which is why the rewarding method works so well. But the basic idea is consistency. You're going to want to do training sessions almost every day. They could be 5 minutes long or they could be 20 minutes long. But again, the dog's attention span is not the biggest, so it's best to keep it as short and brief as possible, because they tend to listen better when it's a small session, because they're gonna see something outside and just go bark and run after it. That's just how dogs are. But I really hope that you learned something from this. And again, these are different for every dog. And thank you so much for listening.